You probably already know that alcohol is causing problems in your life, but you can't stop drinking because you think that life will just be so boring. It almost won't be worth living any longer. Well, let me tell you, you're just like me. I was a daily heavy wine drinker for around 30 years. I drank every single day. And I truly believe that if I stopped drinking, my life would not be worth living. It would just become so boring. But let's look at that closer. Let's get the truth around it. But is that really what happened when I stopped drinking, which was over 3 years ago? So as I say, I drank for almost 30 years, anything from 1 to 3 bottles of red wine every single day, often with beer or spirits on top. I had to drink every day. I wanted to change the way that I felt. And the reason I wanted to change the way I felt was because there was a lot of stuff from my past. And if you've watched any of my other videos, you probably know a bit about my backstory. I won't go into that right now, but it's there if you want to watch it. But suffice to say, I'd found a coping mechanism in alcohol. It helped me to change the way I felt. But what I needed to do was actually look at why I felt the way I felt in the first place and learn some healthy coping mechanisms for that. So I ended up getting stuck in this alcohol trap where I believed that life would be boring if I didn't drink. Everything I did in my life revolved around alcohol, social situations, every evening at home I was drinking, you name it, I had to have alcohol every day. And I truly believed that my life would be sorely lacking something special if I didn't have booze. But it was only when I started to look closer, and this took some time to do, at the reality of what alcohol was doing to my life, that I realised the truth may be very different. It may actually not be boring, because alcohol was impacting me in so many negative ways. It was causing problems in my marriage. It was causing me not to be fully present as a parent. I would often put wine ahead of my wife, ahead of my son, and I'd make excuses or not spend quality time with them because I just wanted to drink. It was impacting my ability to function at work fully. I wasn't thriving, I was simply surviving. And then there was my health and my mental health. My anxiety was out of control. I felt depressed. Yeah, alcohol was giving me a short period of respite away from all these uncomfortable feelings. But alcohol was actually causing a lot of these uncomfortable feelings. It was causing the anxiety. It was causing me to feel depressed. And I can tell you that because it's been over 3 years since I had a drink, and my anxiety went from 9 out of 10 to 2 or 3 out of 10. I no longer feel depressed. Sure, occasionally I have a low mood, but I'm quickly out of it. Things are remarkably different. So many stuff has changed, and life isn't boring. If anything, I have more fun than I used to have, especially when it comes to social events. Previously, I would get drunk, I would have no memory of it, I would look at my phone in the morning, usually cringing about what people were going to tell me that I'd done. Who did I need to apologise for something that I'd said or something that I'd done? I no longer have any of that. And for me, it had become a false belief that I wouldn't laugh as much. I wouldn't be silly and mess around as much if I wasn't drinking. I'd given alcohol the credit for me being able to tap into the childlike, playful parts of myself. But all of that still exists. It wasn't alcohol that was causing that, and I'm still able to tap into those parts of me. If anything, I do it all the more now, and best of all, I get to keep the memories. I remember all of those amazing moments and all of the laughter and all of the fun that I have. And the reality is that I use the excuse that life would be boring if I didn't drink to keep myself stuck. I was afraid of making the change. I was afraid of what might change in my life. What would I lose? Could it be worse off? And that's what alcohol does to us. It keeps us stuck in that place. All it does is provides a short-term period of relief. Yes, it allows us to lose our inhibitions for a short period of time, but alcohol's a drug. Drugs have to have some small upside or we wouldn't keep buying them. And that's what the upside is with alcohol. But there's so much more of a downside. And it's only when you start to look closer that you realise how much negativity comes from drinking and how much its toxicity has seeped into your life, that it really doesn't become worth the trade-off any longer. If I said to you, here's 30 or 45 minutes of relief from your feelings in return for damaging your relationship, causing you to be a worse parent, affecting your career, affecting your health, causing you anxiety, causing you depression, causing you to do things you regret. Well, I'm sure you can't tell me that that's a good deal, because it isn't a good deal. It's not worth the trade-off. And I think many people stay stuck and believe that life without alcohol will be boring because they just don't look at the reality of the situation. They don't investigate the damage that alcohol is really causing them. When they start to look closer, they realise that this deal is not worth doing. It's just not worth it. And then they start to see sobriety as a healthy lifestyle choice, something that they want for themselves, something they want to explore. And for me, I'd never had a day without drinking, other than periods where I might have been in hospital or bedridden because I didn't feel very well. It was impossible for me to truly say that life will be more boring without alcohol because I'd never experienced it, not since I was about 14 years old. And in fact, before 14 years old and I wasn't drinking, my life wasn't boring, but I didn't really have any data. So I needed to take a break and I needed to find out for myself. Imagine if you went your entire life drinking and you never found out if actually life was more fun when you don't drink. I think we owe it to ourselves to gather the data, to take a break from drinking and to find out. And by the end of a break of maybe 30 or 60 days, you're going to know for sure if life is more boring, or actually if life is less boring, or if actually life is more fun. And then you can make your own decision. But don't continue through life only having the information from one side of the argument. You need to find out for yourselves. I already know the answer, and that's why I haven't drunk for over 3 years, and I will never drink again, because I've committed to a sober lifestyle, because my life is anything but boring. In fact, it's better than ever. And also, quitting drinking has given me so many gifts. It's opened so many doors. My life has changed in so many different ways. It's been absolutely incredible. So I want to invite you to look closer at what your beliefs are around alcohol and the reality of the damage that alcohol is actually causing in your life. Get some clarity on that. And then if you've never allowed yourself the opportunity to take a break where you're exploring whether life is more fun with or without alcohol, I would invite you to do that. And maybe you could post a comment below. Share whether you've already taken a break, or if you already know the answer to this question for yourself, whether life is more or less boring. What's happened in your experience? I read all the comments and I reply to as many as possible. So leave a comment below and let me know what's come up in your experience. And do join my community. Just hit the subscribe button on the screen. There's new videos every Tuesday and every Thursday. I would love for you to be part of this community. I help people master sobriety and change their lives, and I want that for you. So if that sounds like something that is important to you, something that resonates with you, hit the subscribe button, join the community and become part of something special. And I've also put together an awesome playlist for anyone who's new to sobriety. You see it right next to me now. So if you're new to sobriety, I've put together the best videos that are going to help you learn how to get through the first days, the first weeks and the first months. You're going to find so much important information in those videos that's going to help you have breakthroughs and change your thinking about the way that alcohol features in your life. So until next time.